Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law.
Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't
Okay.
need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
All rise. Both parties, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Thank you, Will. You may be seated. In the matter of Mary Richardson versus Dakota Willis, I understand, Ms. Richardson, that you're suing the camp for $750 for medical expenses incurred when one of your twins had to get treatment. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. I entrusted the defendant with my twin 8-year-old girls, and under her care, well, lack thereof, resulted in a mix-up of their medications and one of my daughters ending up in the hospital due to anaphylaxis.
It was a mix-up of the meds or a mix-up of the kids?
Well, they say that it was a mix-up of the kids, but...
Okay, so tell me about the kids. They're twins.
Yes. So
identical, fraternal?
They're identical, but easy to tell apart from my perspective. They have markers.
Well, you're the mother.
I know, but their teachers as well as their friends always know who they are. And the original week that they were there, they had no issues. It was the second week that they arrived where there was a mix-up in the twins, and even though they were having an anaphylactic response, they thought that it was the twin that had the asthma.
Okay, so what are the twins' names?
Sharon and Karen.
Sherry?
Sharon and Karen.
Sharon and Karen.
Yes.
And both have a medical condition?
Yes.
Okay, what's Sharon's?
Sharon has asthma, and
Okay.
Karen has a severe allergy to nuts.
And they're at camp. And you weren't there, so I'm just going to turn over to Ms. Willis. What's your role at the school?
I am the director of the camp.
Okay. Were you around when any of this happened?
I was. At the
Okay.
time, I was stepping in for one of my camp counselors who was absent. I was in charge of Sharon's cabin at the time. So the kids were playing. Sharon comes up to me, unable to breathe, and I know she has asthma. I assume this attack was triggered from having played Capture the Flag. We were just outside doing a very physical activity. So I promptly take her to the office where I can administer her asthma medication that I know that she needs, but it's not working. I'm trying to ask her if she's okay, but she cannot communicate to me because she can't breathe. So I radio one of my counselors who is currently in charge of Karen to see if Karen is truly who she says, and come to find out they are playing a prank, and the girl in my possession who I was sure was Sharon is actually Karen. So I understand now that she needs her EpiPen. I administer it immediately because anaphylaxis is very serious. So I immediately call the ambulance to take her to a hospital, regardless of if I had gotten that EpiPen into her the second I realized or if it was delayed 5 minutes. Regardless, she needs to go have professional medical care. So we rush her to the hospital. Luckily, she does make a full recovery.
Now, you were in charge of Sharon that day.
Correct.
And you believed that the child in front of you was Sharon.
Correct.
Had she answered to Sharon? Did you do any kind of roll call that morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
So she had answered as Sharon, not Karen.
Correct. These girls love to play pranks. I even have evidence. The previous week, I had written an email to Miss Richardson because her girls, they are very playful, and I do enjoy their antics, but I have to keep professional in front of them. I can't let them know.
So what kind of pranks do they do?
They just love to answer to each other's names. They love to mix up the counselors, kind of
confuse you all.
Exactly.
You know that to be true about your girls?
Your Honor, they are playful at home, but I have reinforced that
away from home. Have you known that to be true about them, pretending to be the other in the classroom
Your
and
Honor,
answering for the other when they're not?
Their teachers have said that's happened, but because their teachers spend so much time with them, they don't get them mixed up. It's never been an issue before.
But when they go to school, you have the same teacher all day long, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so Sharon has the same teacher all day, Karen has the same teacher all day, And you usually have them for at least a semester.
You are correct, Your
And
Honor.
so the teachers get the opportunity to know the child they're dealing with, right?
In a teaching situation,
But now they're
yes.
at summer camp. In the first week, did they play these pranks?
They did, and I have evidence here because they were playing pranks. I emailed Miss Richardson to let her know that her daughters had been purposefully messing with the counselors, just playfully, and I suggested a remedy. Perhaps maybe she could even cut one of their hair a little bit shorter, maybe even a touch of nail polish on the nails just to let us know that one's different from the other.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
Thought she said it was on the lip.
It
Yes.
is above the lip, yeah. And see,
Wait, she said the ear, you said above the lip.
Your Honor, I would like to say that's exactly how this camp runs.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Mary Richardson, who is suing Dakota Willis for medical expenses.
Your response was, they aren't hard to tell apart. Anybody have pictures? Oh, there those pretty little angels are.
Your Honor.
Oh, how beautiful.
Your Honor, I must say, I love my daughters and I know that they're very similar, but as you can see, even in this photo, I'm not going to change their hair, but I'm going to give different color scrunchies. I give notes of where you can see the difference. You can tell that Karen...
You give notes to whom?
To Miss Willis,
You
because
gave notes to them when you enrolled them in this program?
Yes, ma'am.
And what notes did you give to the school?
I gave them the genetic markers. Karen has a mole above her lip that's very visible when you see her.
A mole above her lip.
Yes, and their bangs are different as well as a height difference. So many times their
Karen
teachers...
has a mole above her
It's
lip,
just a
which
freckle.
I don't see.
Yeah, I would call it more of a freckle, but...
I don't see it. Not in that picture.
That makes sense in this picture, but as of today, you can tell the difference as well as in their bangs, in their
You see these children
height.
since the day they were born.
I know, and
Okay, so so did you tell the teachers that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the children in different ribbons so you can tell them apart? Because I see you have one in red.
Yes, I
did. Did you
did.
do that every day?
Yes. Well, the thing is, it is a sleepover camp, so I only have control of giving them the information and providing it.
So did you receive that type of information?
She did tell me that there was a freckle on one of their ears, but
I thought she said it was on the lip.
on the
above
lip.
It
Yes.
is above the lip, yeah. And see,
Wait, she said the ear, you said above the lip.
Your Honor, I would like to say that's exactly how this camp runs. Every time I give them information,
Did
it's
you give them
suddenly...
anything in writings to say,
did.
this is how you distinguish my children?
Yes.
Where is it? Can I see it?
Yes, when we, it's
When
in
you
the same
enrolled them.
email, I believe. Yes.
Let me see. And Miss Willis, knowing that they both have a very serious medical condition, it behooved your staff, you and your staff, to make certain that you had a way to distinguish them, even if it meant you putting a tag on their arm each day. Okay, I don't see what you gave them to tell them apart.
Let's see.
What did you just hand me? I asked you, did you put it in writing anything to say to them how they could tell your children apart?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I gave you the wrong email.
Okay.
There's that.
I was just wondering. I know I read pretty good most of the time.
No, you
but-
do. Of
All right.
course.
No, this is your response to her after she asked you, would you do something so that they could tell them apart?
Yes, and towards
And
the
you
bottom.
said, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to cut anybody's hair. And besides, they aren't that hard to tell apart. Their school teachers have no problem telling them apart, neither do their friends. You missed the whole point. They were having a problem. And they told you that and asked you for a solution. That was not the time to try to convince them that they could tell them apart. That she's saying to you, we're having difficulty telling your children apart. What do we do to remedy this particular situation? And your remedy was, I don't know why you can't.
To your point,
Everybody
Your
else
Honor.
can. And then you said, just remember, Karen has a small freckle on the left side of her upper lip, and her bangs are more straight across. I don't see that freckle at all. And now maybe it's much more visible in person. Is it or is it not?
I would say not.
Your Honor, I feel like when you really look at the kids' faces, you
know
can
what,
tell they're different.
Ms. Richardson, what you're overlooking, and I'm sorry to say this to you, but you're acting as a protective, defensive parent as opposed to a parent who's trying to make certain that your children are noticeable and that they know distinguishable. And it's because of their health issues. You can't play with that. You can't take a chance. You can't say, well, everybody else can tell them apart. I don't want my kids not to want to have straight hair or not. You have an issue that needs to be resolved for the benefit of your children. And you took the wrong approach. What did you say to your girls? What kind of instructions did you give them? To say, girls, you can't do this. It's fun, but you're risking your safety, your health.
And you're right, Your Honor, I did emphasize that with them. They're both very aware of each other's issues and that they have a pine nut and peanut allergy as well as asthma. I was under the impression that there would be no presence of nuts at the camp. So the issue of their health being at risk,
why were
I
you
thought
under the impression there would be no presence of nuts at the camp because your child has an allergy to nuts? So does that mean the rest of the world can't eat them either?
No, but they do have it within their clause that there should be no outside food, and that's
Within what clause?
I have this here
From the camp?
Yes.
So you're saying they brought outside food?
There was a child with outside food, and that's how she was exposed to the peanuts.
Is that right?
We do have a child who has a problem of sneaking in food. We have talked to his parents.
You have a child who has what?
A problem with sneaking in food.
Sneaking in food?
Yes,
so
but...
you just got some bad little kids over there.
Two. It's a problem.
And Your Honor, they were aware of that. They're aware of that this child brings in outside food. They didn't prevent that either. And these kids were right in front of them when he handed the cookie to my daughter.
How do you know all of that and you weren't there?
I asked Sharon and Karen because I wanted to...
I'm going to strike all of that as hearsay. You were not there.
Coming up.
Defending the children.
I feel like as their mother, that's my duty.
That is your duty, but it's also, you have a greater duty to make certain that that her can distinguish them apart.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Mary Richardson, who is suing Dakota Willis for medical expenses.
There you go again, defending the children.
I feel like as their mother, that's my duty.
You know what? That is your duty, but it's also, you have a greater duty to make certain that that her and all strangers that come in contact with her can distinguish them apart because of the seriousness of their health issues. What could you do? Can you think of anything that you could do to help that situation?
Not in this moment, Your Honor,
No.
because they have to wear the same clothes for the camp itself, and I'm not going to force my daughters to change their hair.
See what I mean? They're not being forced to change their hair. You're a parent. Parents have to do what's necessary. Children don't always want to do what we need them to do. You cannot allow children to make a decision about their health and what they want to do and don't want to do on everything. So what? They don't want to change their hair. Big deal.
And you're right, to your point, that's what I thought they would be there to do.
But they were, but they asked you, she asked you, let's figure out something. The first week, and your answer was, I'm not cutting their hair, but you didn't give a different answer. You didn't even offer a suggestion of what we can do. You ignored what we can do when she sought your help. You're gonna cause one of them death. That's what I said. Because you're too busy defending. You've got to figure out a way. And you have to make your 8-year-old children understand how important it is without anyone having to look carefully for the freckle. That seconds can be lost while you're trying to figure that out.
Coming up.
It's not trusting them with anyone. You got to accept the children have some responsibility in this too. And that's why I keep asking you, what can you do? Stop.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Mary Richardson, who is suing Dakota Willis for medical expenses.
What can you do? There are a number of things you can do each day.
And I feel like I was doing the best I could But with them being at a sleepover camp, Your Honor, I don't have access to
So
that
maybe
every
you
day.
can't let them go to sleepover
At this
camps.
point, I won't. When my daughter almost died, I can't trust
So
anyone
maybe
with that.
It's not trusting them with anyone. You got to accept the children have some responsibility in this too. And that's why I
8-year-olds, Your Honor,
keep asking you, what
8-year-olds.
can you do? Stop. One of the things you can do is stop supporting them in their pranks and stop saying they're little kids, and that's what kids do. Because these kids can't afford to do what little kids do. They can't play the prank game.
Your Honor, you are correct, but I will like to say I did discipline them. When they called me during the second week, they were still getting those problems. No matter how I like to treat it at home with them, I did reiterate on the phone, you cannot do this here. I did my best as a parent over the phone. And it's...
You're talking about after the fact. You still not hearing me. What can you do as a director of a camp that has twins coming that are identical, so to make sure that your teachers and your staff is able to distinguish between them? Have you given that thought? What can you do?
Now, moving forward, knowing that we have twins with very severe allergies that we cannot mix up, I would maybe just buy one of them pink nail polish, the other one purple, something that they can't take off for the whole week. Say, which one do you guys want? If you don't want the whole hand, just maybe on the thumb, just so we know which one's which. Can't be switched up. We'll know exactly who's who. You're the nut girl, you're the asthma girl.
Did they have on nail polish?
I don't put nail polish on my kids.
See? You better think of something.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
You have a hard job, but you've got to somehow help them realize that this is not fun, what they're doing, that this could mean life or death.
I'm right there with you. I truly thought as a single mother, I don't have many people I can lean on, and I truly thought that they would be...
You don't have any people you can lean on?
No,
You have a community. You're just being a typical mother, and that I don't want my children not to enjoy life as a child. And there's some parts of their life that they can't do. So, but if you're telling me that a child was there on the campus with nuts, and this child is doing that, and you are aware of it, you all either should have suspended that child from camp or done something, because again, you did not do enough.
We reached out to that child's parents.
Well, I know, but when that child's parent didn't respond, and you know you got an issue on your campus and they're bringing food on there, you just got to let somebody go.
They did.
What's wrong with you all? You can't just say no to these kids. Get your little butt up out of my camp.
They did respond.
Okay, I'm going to accept. I am going to give both. I'm going to allow you to share in this responsibility. So, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $375.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $375.
We did our due diligence. I'm still sorry this happened.
I'll do better to be a good mom, but I hope you don't let kids run your camp anymore.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.